A day after devastating proof of Sean Combs assaulting Cassie was leaked to CNN, he released a short, quote, apology video. He claimed that assault on her happened during the, quote, darkest time of his life.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life.
In the video, Sean Combs claims he was effed up.
I was fucked up.
Maybe he was, but who cares? I don't care. I don't care what the reason was for him to actively make a decision to attack another person, and I'm not going to be surprised if even more violent incidences come to light.
I was fucked up. I hit rock bottom.
If he was under the influence like he claimed, and he attacked a pilot on a plane the way he did Cassie, he would have been prosecuted. In any other circumstance where a person behaved this way, they would have to deal with law enforcement at the very least, or deal with a civil suit. Being under the influence is not an excuse to get out of prison after committing felonies. It's not an excuse to force the public to let you off the hook either.
I hit rock bottom.
He claims he hit rock bottom. Again, we don't care. I don't care. This event happened in 2016, and he kept his mouth closed all this time. Through the Cassie lawsuit in November, he didn't say anything about this. Through his settlement, when the awful hotel video went super viral, before that, he didn't say anything. He didn't say anything.
My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
Yes, your behavior in the video is inexcusable, but yet here you are making excuses. Did he not just say he was effed up and that he hit rock bottom? Child, that's an excuse right there. You're making an excuse.
I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted.
He claims he's taking full responsibility, but he hasn't. He hasn't spent one day in jail or prison. He hasn't revealed his wrongdoing to the public. We learned about it through a leak. Up to that, he was denying everything. He was content to keep this situation a secret, allegedly paying $50K for the video and never letting it see the light of day until somebody leaked it in 2024. How do you issue an apology and not even say sorry to the person you attacked? Did he even say Cassie's name? I'm gonna go back and watch this. Did he even say her name? Not that I believe in this apology. I think it's for PR. But he didn't even make an apology directly to her publicly. Did he say, I'm sorry to Cassie? Or I'm sorry to Mrs. Fine for any awful behavior that she had to deal with from me? Like,
I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
He claims to have been disgusted at the time he attacked Cassie. Wait a minute. He claims to have been disgusted at the time he attacked Cassie? Oh, but I thought you were at rock bottom and you were effed up. So how did you have the wherewithal to be disgusted at your behavior at the time? He says he's disgusted now and he was disgusted at the time, right? So how? That part sounds like something extra he added to make himself appear more sincere, in my opinion.
I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy and go into rehab.
He claims he sought professional help. Did he see a psychologist or a psychiatrist? I bet not find out Sean Combs was on BetterHelp, talking to a random person hoping for a clean bill of health. I bet not find out Sean Combs' version of professional help comes by way of a pro-ex worker during a freak-off. Is that the type of professional help you sought, sir?
I'm going to rehab.
He claims he went to rehab too, so there would be a paper trail at some point, right? But again, what's the use of this without repentance? Remorse without repentance means nothing. What did you do to repay Cassie before she had to sue you, sir? What did you do to repay her before she had to sue you? Before she had to go public? What did you do before we finally saw her tiny body being dragged by you through a hotel hallway? You better ask God for mercy because I have none to give. I have none to give. How many warnings do you think God has given Sean Combs before now? Some of you who are making excuses for this man's behavior, how many warnings do you think God sent to Sean Combs before this happened. How many times do you think he's ignored those warnings?
But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day.
He claims to be committed to being a better man. That's fine. That's fine, but after you pay for your actions. If a person can act like an animal and hurt other people on a routine basis, then say my bad when they get caught or when they get older, society will become unbearable. It will become unlivable. Saying sorry isn't the only action required here. The better part of a decade has passed since he was in a hotel hallway kicking and dragging that woman. This happened in 2016. In another 2 years, it'll be 10 years. He's not asking for forgiveness, but he certainly wants us to let him off the hook from suffering the consequences of his actions. That's clear. He may not be asking for forgiveness, but he is certainly hoping that everybody lets him off the hook so that he can continue to do everything he's been doing up to this point. He never apologized for anything like this before now. He isn't confessing to anything we don't know about yet either. Now the comments under this alleged apology video he posted on Instagram are on fire. And Sean Combs' apologists are catching hands and feet, no pun intended, for trying to excuse what he did. Many people say he's sorry he got caught. Not that he's sorry. That's certainly what I think. I think he's sorry he got caught, and he would have been content not to say anything had this video not leaked to the public. People are saying he threw God in there to get sympathy from certain fools. I can believe it. I can believe it. Some people don't understand there is no forgiveness without recompense. They've been wrongly taught that turning the other cheek without first demanding recompense from the abuser is how to be an upright Christian or whatever. No. Someone posted this under the Sean Combs alleged apology video. Quote,
"This man is posting an apology, and here come people to tear that down. We're not God, so that's not just..."
Girl, ma'am, there's a whole legal system meant to handle the consequences of people's actions by judging who's right and who's wrong and what has to be done to rectify that situation. She continued,
"If half the stuff some of y'all did was put out to the world on video, then some would be totally quiet."
Girl, please. Please. Don't assume everyone has done heinous things and use that wild assumption as a weapon to browbeat people into silence on this issue about Sean Combs. Oh, she wasn't done. She wasn't done. She said,
Cassie stayed with him years after the video, so she must have forgave him. And here y'all in these people's business.
Girl, if you don't, this person just made that up. You just made that up, ma'am. First, the person has no idea if Cassie forgave him or if she stayed because every time she tried to leave, like in that video, she was kicked and dragged back into the house. Second, Cassie just sued Sean Combs in November of 2023. If she, quote, forgave him for an attack in 2016, she never would have filed a lawsuit. Another commenter said,
"I remember going through dark times in my life, but God can bring me and Diddy out of the darkness into the light."
Usually when people post something like this, they're posting about themselves and not the person who's the subject of the main topic. This comment is not about Sean Combs. It is about them. They want forgiveness for what they did. I'm not going to be surprised if they also may want to get out of dealing with the consequences of their actions, so they feel sympathy for Sean Combs. They are begging for forgiveness, not for Sean Combs, even though they're couching it in the context of this current controversy. But, you know, some people lack critical thinking skills, so none of what I just said will make any sense to them. That's fine. I said what I said. Now, to my understanding, there are things Sean Combs is accused of doing after this 2016 incident as well. Years after this 2016 incident. Was he still at rock bottom then? For example, at what point did the alleged assault on Gina Hahn happen? Was it before or after Cassie's 2016 hotel assault? And if you believe what happened with the club incident and Shine, then this is the same man who let another man go to prison for a decade to keep himself free. I mean, just for that. How did y'all look the other way just for that alone? Anyway, some celebrities who were trying to ride the fence are being forced to state the obvious now. I'm hearing TD Jakes is giving a speech about domestic violence from the pulpit. Listen, what was you doing with Puff Daddy, sir? What were you doing with this man? Were you trying to rehab him, sir? Were you trying to be his therapist? Are you one of the professionals he claims he sought out? What was your connection to Puff Daddy? Why were you at the freak-offs? Why were you at his mansion parties, sir? Now, I'm not gonna watch that. I'm not gonna watch his sermons. Somebody tell me if he even said Sean Combs' name. And still, he hasn't told us what he was doing at the parties, sir. Were you there getting swallowed up? What were you doing there? For clout? To be seen? To get money for your church? Let us know, because I don't want to hear anything y'all gotta say, because y'all were out here wilding. You were co-signing this man. You were letting him launder his awful actions through your good reputations by being associated with him. Miss me. TD, Meek Mill, the guy Sean Combs was calling daddy while he looked physically uncomfortable in that pool. Posted a tweet on Twitter.
Heathen.
Who you talking about, Meek? To whom is he referring? We don't know. People are assuming it's Sean Combs and they are tearing him up in the comments. I don't want to hear another word from Stevie J. And I don't want to hear another word from anybody who will continuously make excuses about what this man did and will seek to let him off the hook from dealing with the consequences of his actions. Let these people go. Let these people go. Let this celebrity worship culture finally come to an end. Sean Combs has punched and kicked celebrity worship culture to death. Celebrity worship culture has died in his arms. It has died in the arms of an alleged abuser. And it's time for everybody to stop making excuses for this awful behavior.